A pedestrian is killed by a car roughly every 90 minutes in the United States. And in 2017, there were an estimated 40,000 traffic fatalities on US roads. More than 90% of them were caused by human error. What if a potential solution to this problem is driverless cars?
Autonomous vehicles, or AVs, aren't just futuristic tech. They could solve some real-world problems. There are dozens of companies working in this space. Some of the big players are Waymo, Cruise, and Zoox. Some are working on specific aspects of the tech, while others are deploying vehicles. We visited Luminar, a company that focuses on building the eyes of self-driving cars, known as lidar.
So what does a lidar look like? Where is it?
So you can see in this case, we have 4 different lidars up on the roof of the vehicles. This is what allows us to get full 360.
It's so cool.
So lidar stands for light detection and ranging, and it works by sending out laser pulses into the environment, measuring the exact distance and timing of how long it takes to send out a pulse, hit something, and come back.
Do the colors represent anything?
Yes.
Or anything?
So the different colors represent different distances. We see objects and cars going out 250 meters into the distance. Even some of the best performing systems that have been out there traditionally is only distances much closer. So, you can see a bicyclist or cars or other types of things, but only reliably out to around, 30 to 40 meters out there. But like when you actually talk about getting to real world deployments without a backup driver, you need a completely different level of performance and capability and safety. And that's where this comes into play. Where you can see out, 250 meters into the distance, you have no problem seeing that camera-like resolution on objects. So that's Billy over there walking his dog with the leash. I think people talk about like the economics or like how autonomous vehicles are people gonna is there gonna be social acceptance, or is there going to be a regulatory framework that allows them? But it's like, how about just getting to a point where they're even like remotely safe on the road and you can take out a backup driver? Like the technology problem is not solved.
What I'm totally fascinated with is how are people actually going to use them and what are the implications with that use.
Robin Chase is the co-founder and former CEO of Zipcar. In her opinion, autonomous vehicles will make us safer if done the right way.
Whether it's self-driving or not, we still have congestion, we still have air pollution. Self-driving cars don't solve any of those fundamental problems. It solves a very specific safety issue, and that's all it solves, actually. So there's something called the 5 levels of autonomy. We're kind of at a 2 to 3, which means a human is always still in control, and it will do a lot of autonomous driving during certain small things. I think that many companies are now going to level 4, which means in certain circumstances, there doesn't have to be anyone behind the wheel. Right? And then level 5, that's a car that is anytime, any place, anywhere, any weather, it can drive. So we aren't close to that reality.
In 2018, there have been quite a few incidents with autonomous vehicles and the companies that are working on them. What should it take to get a vehicle safely on the road?
It's a really and critically important question. Does it have to be just as good as us, or does it have to be better than us? I'm of the belief that it needs to be as good as us to get started.
Autonomous vehicles are probably the first tool in a century that might actually get us to 0 road deaths.
Mark Rosekind was the head of the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration under President Obama. Now, he's a Chief Safety Innovation Officer at a company that's building an AV from the ground up. What are the unique challenges that you're facing, especially since Zoox is working on software and hardware?
The biggest challenge for everybody is to demonstrate the safety. Nobody's done this before. There's so many problems to solve. Transportation touches everybody. This will affect everybody's life.
There's a really cool machine we should look at over there. Cool.
The autonomous vehicle, in order to be safe, needs to understand what is the world around it, and it needs to understand all the objects in this world. So vision is taking camera input and then trying to reason about what is all of these entities in the world.
And how do you train a vehicle that doesn't have a human driver to be aware of all of the obstacles that it's going to come across, whether it's in the city or on a highway.
It starts by just gathering a lot of data and using this data labeled by humans in order to be able to recognize, given an image, what is all of the objects.
Zoox is working with simulations to train the cars to drive in different environments and prepare them to overcome any kind of obstacle. They've worked on several prototypes of what their car is going to look like. And since there's no need for a human driver, the interior is going to be completely different from what we're used to.
This is what test vehicle looks like, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we have lidar,
Yeah.
we have cameras, and we have radar, each of which sees 360 degrees around the vehicle in real time to make sure we understand everything that's going on around us all the time with no distractions.
Zoox is planning to deploy their vehicles in a rideshare experience. So after visiting their manufacturing facility, we got a chance to take a test drive with the CTO.
So first time in a self-driving car, huh?
It's my first time.
All right.
Yeah.
You excited?
I'm really excited.
Here we go.
What kind of inspired you to want to build a car from scratch?
I think it's really the opportunity to create the best customer experience and the best safety. It's a really compelling thing to try to do. There's a scooter right there. We're actually nudging around her. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, wow, that is
So very smooth. We didn't slam on the brake or anything.
Yeah.
Just very gently nudged around her. We have to do more than just give a really cool demo. We have to be able to reliably drive, more safely than humans. And that's not an easy problem.
People have to have some patience and understanding to realize that the future's bright, but it's going to take us some steps to get there.
And what could go wrong? I imagine a lot of things, but...
Well, for the next 20 or 30 years, we're going to have people literally hand on the wheel. We're going to have people with different automated systems, lane keeping, blind spot, and then we're going to have fully automated. And so we really need to be talking and figuring that out now, or we're going to have chaos.
What really scares me about self-driving cars is the use cases for it to be my personal runner. The congestion that we have today is caused primarily by us driving alone in our cars. Think how much it will be more full and full longer with no one in their cars, just running errands. So we as society need to insert ourselves into this discussion and say, what is it that we want? I think we should be asking those questions right now and being quite clear about what our goals are, because without the goal, we can't meet it.